On April 1, Artemis II launched on a journey around the moon. They carried with them the hopes and dreams of generations of explorers. This is our love letter to the astronauts and support teams that for 10 days brought us science, joy, laughter, and tears. I am Dr. Pamela Gay, and this is Escape Velocity Space News.
Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. On this historic mission, you take with you the heart of this Artemis team, the daring spirit of the American people and our partners across the globe, and the hopes and dreams of a new generation. Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis II. Let's go.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
On time, passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the alternate beacon. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the 4 main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour. Throttle down. Confirmed separation.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready. And Houston has you loud and clear on Tidris at the Kármán line.
3 minutes 50 seconds into the flight of Artemis II, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen cross the boundary to space with good comm checks.
Integrity, GPS processing.
Outstanding, Stan. We see the same, and we have a beautiful moonrise. We're headed right at it.
Astronauts are pilots, scientists, educators, and communicators. And sometimes they're plumbers.
I'll take that one. I'm the space plumber. I'm proud to call myself the space plumber. I like to say that it is probably the most important piece of equipment on board. So we were all breathing a sigh of relief when it turned out to be just fine. It was just an issue, I think, of sitting for a long time and needing a little time to warm up, a priming issue. But we did originally think that there could have been potentially something fouling up the motor. And luckily, we are all systems go.
No mission is without flaws. The best we can hope for is safe astronauts and good stories. And Artemis II had both. And it wasn't just the toilet that failed.
I also see that I have 2 Microsoft Outlooks, and neither one of those are working. If you want to remote in and check Optimus on those 2 Outlooks, that would be awesome.
Integrity. Houston has completed the poll for TLI. When the engine ignites, you embark on humanity's lunar homecoming arc and set the course to return Integrity and her crew safely home. Houston is go for TLI.
Integrity copies, and your Integrity crew is go for TLI. With this burn to the moon, we do not leave Earth, we choose it.
With the Translunar Injection burn, the astronauts flung themselves away from Earth with trust that the moon's gravity would return them home. As Victor Glover explained, the ultimate destination of every human spaceflight is Earth.
There was a moment about an hour ago where Mission Control Houston reoriented our spacecraft as the sun was setting behind the Earth. And I don't know what we all expected to see in that moment, but you could see the entire globe from pole to pole. You could see Africa, Europe, and if you looked really close, you could see the northern lights. It was the most spectacular moment, and it paused all 4 of us in our tracks.
And Integrity Houston, we have some news to share with you. As of 30 seconds ago, you are now closer to the moon than you are to us on Earth.
Wow, Jackie, thank you for sharing that with us. We all kind of had a collective, I guess, expression of joy at that. It's hard to imagine, but we can see here on our flight PFD that we are at 118,000 nautical miles. So, yeah, you can do the math. We can see the moon out of the docking hatch right now. It is a beautiful sight. We're seeing more and more of the far side, and it's just a thrill to be here.
Integrity Houston, our saws are in position to take this family portrait. So sometime in the next few minutes, we'd love to invite you to the windows to get it done. Thanks. All right, everybody, we're taking the picture, so say cheese and stay still for about 30 seconds while we perform this photography bracket from the saws.
Okay, we'll freeze in 3, 2, 1, mark. You know I'm not one for hyperbole, but it's the only thing I could come up with. Just seeing Tycho, there's mountains to the north. You can see Copernicus, Rainier Gamma. It's just everything from the training, but in 3 dimension and absolutely unbelievable. This is incredible.
Kathy Moonjoy.
And Houston, I can tell you that Christina now has the 400 millimeter, and she also is the queen of hyperbole. It's incredible.
Wow.
Happy Christina doing her best read impression at the window.
Many have waited a lifetime to see humans return to the moon, and others realized one lifetime would not be long enough. As he neared death, Apollo astronaut Charlie Duke pre-recorded a message for the Artemis II astronauts.
Hello, Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. This is Apollo 16 astronaut Charlie Duke. John Young and I landed on the moon in 1972 in a lunar module we named Orion. I'm glad to see a different kind of Orion helping return humans to the moon as America charts the course to the lunar surface. Below you on the moon is a photo of my family. I pray it reminds you that we in America and all of the world are cheering you on. Thanks to you and the whole team on the ground for building on our Apollo legacy with Artemis. Godspeed and safe travels home.
The Apollo program spanned from 1961 to 1972, with the first crewed flight in 1968. Remarkably, several Apollo astronauts are still alive and still active with NASA.
Integrity crew, we have Reed's family in the viewing gallery. You're welcome to say hello.
Well, whether you're being serious or you're kidding around, that is awesome to hear. Thanks, Jenny. And hello to Ellie and Katie. I don't know who else is there, but it's great to know that you're in mission control right now, following along. We are having a blast up here, and the view of the moon is absolutely amazing.
I'm seeing a lot of hearts come out of the viewing gallery and even more smiles. Thanks, Reed. Copy heart, copy bracelet.
The astronauts shared their excitement and reminded us joy is revolutionary. Beside their joy, the gravitas of this voyage never seemed far from the astronauts' thoughts.
From the cabin of Integrity here, as we surpass the furthest distance humans have ever traveled from planet Earth, we do so in honoring the extraordinary efforts and feats of our predecessors in human space exploration. We will continue our journey even further into space before Mother Earth succeeds in pulling us back to everything that we hold dear. But we most importantly, choose this moment to challenge this generation and the next to make sure this record is not long-lived.
This crew has been training together since April 2023 and have become more than co-workers. They are crew. This closeness is reflected in their every action.
Our science team helped us out with a couple of relatively fresh craters on the moon that have not been previously named, and our crew would like to propose a couple of potential names for those items or those areas. And we spent a bit of time this morning looking out the window, and we're able to see them now both with our naked eye and through the long lens. And so we feel this is a good time to send this down, and a special shout out to Kelsey for helping us with this. The first one we'd like to suggest is a named crater in honor of our great spacecraft integrity. And so if you were to look at Oriental on the far side and then draw a line straight up to Ohm on the far side, relatively in the middle is an unnamed crater, and we would like to suggest it be called Integrity in the future. And the second one, and especially meaningful for this crew, is a number of years ago we started this journey in our close-knit astronaut family, and we lost a loved one. And there's a feature in a really neat place on the moon, and it is on the near side, far side boundary. In fact, it's just on the near side of that boundary, and so at certain times of the moon's transit around Earth, we will be able to see this from Earth. And so we lost a loved one. Her name was Carol, the spouse of Reed, the mother of Katie and Ellie. And if you want to find this one, you look at Glushko, and it's just to the northwest of that, at the same latitude as Ohm, and it's a bright spot on the moon. And we would like to call it Carol, and you spell that C-A-R-R-O-L-L.
Astronauts see our world with a different perspective and experience an overview effect that transforms Earth from many nations to just one shared world. For astronauts going to the moon, the smallness of our world becomes tangible.
At one point, towards the end of the images of my time in window 3, I just had an overwhelming sense of being moved by looking at the moon. It lasted just a second or two, and I actually couldn't even make it happen again. But something just drew me in suddenly to the lunar landscape, and it became real. And the truth is, the moon really is its own body in the universe. It's not just a poster in the sky that goes by. It is a real place. And when we have that perspective and we compare it to our home of the Earth, it just reminds us how much we have in common. Everything we need, the Earth provides, and that in and of itself is somewhat of a miracle.
The moon is a 5-day rocket ride away. And on the far side is silence, as astronauts experience LOS, or loss of signal.
And as we get close to the nearest point to the moon and farthest point from Earth, as we continue to unlock the mysteries of the cosmos, I would like to remind you of one of the most important mysteries there on Earth, and that's love.
On April 6, 2026, Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen traveled beyond the moon and back again. They traveled on a novel orbit that allowed them to see lunar sights never before seen by human eyes. They did science, they recorded their work, and they came back with full hearts.
It is so great to hear from Earth again. To Asia, Africa, and Oceania, we are looking back at you. We hear you can look up and see the moon right now. We see you too. When we burned this burn towards the moon, I said that we do not leave Earth, but we choose it. And that is true. We will explore, we will build ships, we will visit again. We will construct science outposts, we will drive rovers, we will do radio astronomy, we will found companies, we will bolster industry, we will inspire. But ultimately, we will always choose Earth. We will always choose each other.
Integrity from Earth, our single system, fragile and interconnected. We copy.
Thanks to their April 1 launch, their flyby came with a side of solar eclipse.
Science, integrity in the blind. This is continues to be unreal. The sun has gone behind the moon, and the corona is still visible, and it's bright, and it creates a halo almost around the entire moon. But when you get to the Earth side, the Earth shine is already shown. I mean, almost seconds after the sun set behind the moon, you could see Earth shine. The Earth is so bright out there, and the moon is just hanging in front of us. Science in Houston, integrity. I know this observation won't be of any scientific value, but I'm really glad we launched on April 1st because humans probably have not evolved to see what we're seeing. It is truly hard to describe. It is amazing.
Yeah, there was a little bit of giddiness. We have seen 3 impact flashes so far. I saw 2, and Jeremy has seen 1. Undoubtedly, Jeremy saw 2, so that's 4 total. Undoubtedly, quick impact flashes. It was not sun glint off of particulate from the thrusters or the purge tanks. It was definitely impact flashes on the moon. And Jeremy just saw another one.
This is Artemis Mission Control. The eclipse period is coming to an end. And we did hear that call up that the crew now has to put on those eclipse glasses to be able to protect their eyes for this final portion of the eclipse. And these views coming to you from the solar array wing cameras on the Orion spacecraft.
And Houston, if you could give me about 20 new superlatives in the mission summary for tomorrow, that'll help my vocabulary out a bit. Thank you.
The 3 U.S. astronauts, Reed, Glover, and Koch, are all alumni of the International Space Station, and this flight gave them a unique opportunity to chat with old friends from across space.
We are so excited to be up here with you, and we had a couple questions. We are wondering, we know how fortunate all of us are as humans to come up here and look down at the Earth from above. Every astronaut that comes to space remarks on that, and we really wanted to hear what that felt like, how different that felt now from your new perspective around the moon.
Well, I'll start by saying we do miss the ISS. The views there are awesome, being able to see specific places, being able to see your home specifically. So y'all's views are absolutely incredible, and I miss them every day almost. The thing that changed for me looking back at Earth was that I found myself noticing not only the beauty of the Earth, but how much blackness there was around it, and how it just made it even more special. It truly emphasized how alike we are, how the same thing keeps every single person on planet Earth alive. We evolved on the same planet. We have some shared things about how we love and live that are just universal. And the specialness and preciousness of that really is emphasized when you notice how much else there is around.
The views of Earth from space were what pulled on our lunar explorers over and over.
Houston, integrity, we are waving at you out of window 2. It's a beautiful blue little crescent out there.
Thank you. We can't quite make you out, but we appreciate the thought.
10 days is enough time to make a mess of a capsule and miss home. But it's never really long enough.
We all just had that weird vibe of backing up and we were getting sad.
But it's hard to stay sad when having fun and making history.
That sounds great, and Victor's spinning is making us giggle. It's really spectacular.
In Victor's hands here it is the Apollo 18 flag that the agency asked to have put on board Artemis II so that it could take its rightful trip around the moon. And the four of us are just honored to have this here. We're honored that it is in our presence, and we are honored to carry the torch from Apollo through Skylab, through the space shuttle, through our beloved International Space Station, and now back further than humans have ever gone, around the far side of the moon, and safely home back to Houston. So we just wanted to share this with you because it needed to be shared. Thanks.
We look like we're smiling at you, like a little Cheshire cat.
Yeah, that is exactly the same comment that we made, and that's why we put Victor beside it for his smile, and took a picture of him there. His smile is as bright as your smile.
I believe it. Thank you.
To make their bullseye landing here on Earth, minor course changes were necessary.
Integrity Houston, confirm a good burn, and prop post-burn reconfiguration is complete.
We copy all, and we have a gorgeous view of you out window 2.
Awesome, we're waving at you.
We are too.
While NASA coverage was plagued with weird audio echoes, the spaceship was nothing but perfection.
Integrity looks like a good RTC-3 burn, and we are assessing details.
Hey, Jackie, we see the same on board, and we just wanted to give a huge shout out to that ESA Airbus team, to our friends in the Netherlands and Germany and at the Glenn Research Center. This vehicle powered us and it propelled us from the Earth to the moon and back with extreme precision, and we are excited to be a part of your team.
Day 10 meant it was time for spacesuits and deorbit burns. Day 10 meant it was time to come home.
Houston, cabin entry config is complete, and Christina and Jeremy are about to start suit on.
Excellent on cabin config, and copy suit down.
Cabin configured, all crew suited and seated. And we have a great view of the moon out window 2. Looks a little smaller than yesterday.
Guess we'll have to go back.
Houston, verge is complete. Crew and vehicle are configured for entry.
1 minute to a 6-minute blackout.
Integrity.
The scariest part of a mission to me is that moment of fire as the crew re-enters and experiences loss of signal. Telescopes and telephoto lenses can make the wait a bit easier.
So that pinpoint of light shows the vehicle as it enters the period of peak heating in the Earth's atmosphere, the first tug of gravity being felt by Integrity's astronauts since their launch back on April 1st.
Integrity, Houston, comm check, post-blackout.
Houston, Integrity, we have you loud and clear.
Your trajectory is nominal, and your recovery teams have visual.
And Houston, we're visual 2 drogues out the window.
And we see 3 good-looking parachutes.
Houston, Integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time.
Mission Commander Reed Wiseman couldn't leave behind Rise, the plushy zero-G indicator they were supposed to leave in the capsule. This is the best form of rule breaking. Artemis II was just the beginning of our return to the moon, and we are only beginning to understand all the things it has to teach us.
The start and the end were human moments here on Earth. So several years ago, I was giving a speech and I was doing my usual talk about crew and crewmates and teamwork, and someone asked the question, what makes a crew? What is different about a crew than a team? And I was like, I got this. Opened my mouth confidently to tell them everything I knew about being a crewmate. And everything that came out of my mouth was completely without value. I was like, yeah, crews, they're in space, and they work together, but they eat together too. So, they're a crew. And boats have crews. You're a crew if you're on a boat. Helps if you have a paddle. That'll be good. That'll make you a crew. But the last 10 days, I've gotten a little bit of a better answer on that question. A crew is people, or, a group that is in it all the time, no matter what, that is stroking together every minute with the same purpose, that is willing to sacrifice silently for each other, that gives grace, that holds accountable. A crew has the same cares and the same needs, and a crew is inescapably, beautifully, dutifully linked. So when we saw Tiny Earth, people asked our crew what impressions we had. And honestly, what struck me wasn't necessarily just Earth, it was all the blackness around it. Earth was just this lifeboat hanging undisturbingly in the universe. I may have not learned, I know I haven't learned, everything that this journey has yet to teach me. But there's one new thing I know, and that is, planet Earth, you are a crew.
To the crew and support personnel who made Artemis II happen, from our crew here at EVSN, we love you to the moon and back. This has been Escape Velocity Space News.